Hello and welcome back to the channel. Back to 2d6 dungeon. Back to level 7 of the dungeon, the Menagerie. 2d6 dungeon was created by Toby Lancaster. His link is in the description. Last session we made it over here to the corner of the map. And we went through some critters, some bugs. We had a crocodile fall out of a void onto our head, practically. We had a big centipede looking thing pop out of the ground. We went through a whole bunch of bug sacks from the ceiling, like a little zombie dude patrol. And we fought a big giant fly. And then we saw a vision when we got into this room. We did set a prisoner free as well. So now that we're here, we have an archway. I think we're gonna work on filling in this area today and see where we go. Passing through this archway, we come into a short corridor, 2 exits. We chose to go this way, and what we enter into is a rest space. This room has a central fire pit and some benches and beds with fur scattered around. A Terra Magna rises from a seat and attacks. If you survive, you find a chest. Roll on chest table 2 with a +2 modifier. Sent out by the Keeper, the Terra Magna scout out creatures for the Menagerie. They are experienced trackers and worthy fighters. When they find their prey, they return and seek out the Pen Tamer. For maneuvers, they have a Morningstar Bash and a Sidekick. The Morningstar Bash is a 1/4, which is not blocked by any of our armor pieces. And then the Sidekick is a 3/5, which would be covered by either the Banded Shield or Metal Bracers for a -2. Once our Shroud Curse has been activated, we'll be able to block the Morningstar Bash with the Leather Breastplate. For interrupts, they have plate armor on primary 1s, 4s, and 6s, which only covers our Ferocious Strike with the primary 6. I think we're going to hold off on throwing anything this round. We'll just go straight into round 1 of combat with our sword. Our turn here. We'll start off with a 2d6 with 4 shifts to 6. That only takes 3 shifts to change the 6 into a 3. Create a twisting stab, which will be 2d6 + 7. 11 points of damage. Bring her down to 19 right away. Terra Magna's turn for round 1 with a 2/4 and 2 shifts. 2/4, 2 shifts. We can use 1 shift to trade that to a 3 and 1 shift to make this a 5. Create a Sidekick. D3 + 1. 2 points of damage. Brings us to 60. Then we heal back 1 to 61. On round 2, our turn. 6/1 takes 3 shifts to create a Ferocious Strike. And that is also 2d6 + 7 because of the interrupt. 15 points of damage. Bring her down to 4 health. Terra Magna's turn for round 2 with a 4/5. It only takes 1 shift to make that into another Sidekick. That is a 1. 2 points of damage again. Brings us to 59, and then we heal back to 60. Got round 3 our turn with a 3/1, 4 shifts. 1 shift to make the 3 into a 2, and then 2 shifts to make the 1 into a 3. Create another twisting stab. 17 points of damage. That bring her to 0 health. And dead. She has a pouch on her, it looks like. 4. Four. She has an empty pouch on her, but she does have 450 XP, which will bring us up to 499. 18,499. And then we find a chest table, or we have a chest in the corner here on chest table 2. And we did have a +2 modifier on that. So that is a 10. You flip the lid up and are amazed to see a sack of coins. 4d6 + 20 gold pieces. 2d6 + 10 silver pieces. And roll on that table that I've never seen before. That is a half ornate item. Let's get our gold pieces. 36 gold pieces. And then 2d6 plus 10 silver pieces. 14 silver. And now we have our ornate item. Half a gold symbol worth 46 gold pieces. 18 gold pieces. That is all for this space. It is a dead end space. We can go back into the trophy room there if we wanted, but we're not going to. We're going to go back to this archway in the corridor, and you can't see that. Head out this way. Right. Step through that archway. We enter into a corridor. It has one exit that continues on another archway. We enter into a room. Shadowy office. To one side is a leather-topped table, a chair, and a chest. On the wall are some symbols and shapes. Behind the desk sits the Pen Tamer. They slam a fist down and attack. If you survive, roll on a chess table. The Pen Tamer is second only to the Keeper. They manage the cells and cages, organize feeding, and bond with the creatures. They have a power over beast that is gifted by Menagerie. For maneuvers, they have a heavy punch and a chain lash. The heavy punch is 4-6, which won't be blocked by anything until after our Shroud Curse takes effect. And the chain lash is a 4-1, which will be blocked by the leather breastplate from the start, making that one a 2d6 -1. For interrupts, they have spiked armor, primary 3s, 4s, and 5s -3. That will only affect our lunging thrust, making that a d6 +2. And then they have a palm block on secondary 1s, 2s, and 5s -3. And that doesn't affect any of those. We're gonna start off with the Yips Throwing Axe, of course. We'll start off with Yips Throwing Axe. Throw that at her, return it, and throw it a second time. First one is a 5-3. That will be affected the spiked armor, primary 5s. Yips Throwing Axe is a +3, so that is just 6 points of damage. 54. Then the axe returns to our hand. And we throw it a second time, and again with a 5. So 6 more points of damage. Bring her to 48 health. Top round 1, our turn. Starting with a 4-2. With 4-2, we have 4 shifts. We can take 2 shifts to turn the 4 into a 6, and 2 shifts to turn that 2 into a 4 to create a Ferocious Strike, which is not blocked by anything, so 2d6 +10. 17 points of damage. Bring her 31 health. Pen Tamer's turn for round 1. With a 5-1, they have 3 shifts, but they only need 1 shift to create a chain lash. A 2d6 -1. 4 points of damage. Brings us to 56 health, but then our aura brings us back to 57. Top round 2 per turn. We have a 3-3. 3-3, 4 shifts. We can take 3 shifts to make that 6, and 1 shift to make that 4. Create another Ferocious Strike. 15 points of damage. Brings him to 16 health. Pen Tamer's turn for round 2. Now 2-3. With a 2-3, we're not able to turn that into any maneuvers. Only 3 shifts. Top round 3, our turn. And 6-5. Only need 1 shift to make a Ferocious Strike. 14 points of damage. Brings them to only 2 health left. Pen Tamer's turn for round 3. And 1-5. No. A 1-5, 3 shifts. We cannot do any maneuvers again. Top round 4, our turn. We have a 1-4 this time. 5 shifts. We can take that 1 and change it all the way to a 6. Using all 5 shifts. Create a Ferocious Strike. 19 points of damage. That will bring her to dead. Now, I've been just saying I've been recovering my weapon, and I just looked at the rules as I was flipping through things and realized I've been forgetting a small step, which is I'm supposed to roll to make sure I can recover it. And if it was deflected by an interrupt, it's gone, which my axe with yips on it had been deflected because we suffered a -3 damage to it. It wasn't, it still caused damage, but I guess we lost Yip's throwing axe. It's gone according to this. If it was deflected, it's completely gone. So I guess I don't have to roll. I'm gonna roll anyway in case that's slightly off, and it's gone either way. Either off of the roll or off of it being deflected by the interrupt. We do not have Yip's throwing axe anymore. And I also found that throwing axes are considered heavy, but it doesn't say the throwing knives are heavy, so I have them filling up heavy slots for nothing. So let's fix that. Yip's throwing axe is gone. Then we have throwing daggers and darts. Hello. So I'm not going to change it, but on the last level we had fallen and broke a random heavy item, and I had like 6 or 7 throwing knives and 1 heavy slot that would have been actually in the small items instead of heavy items, and I broke them and I just got rid of all of them. So we lost some knives, but I'm not bringing them back. We have a lot of experience from this lady. We get 1,650 experience. That will bring us up to 20,149, and that is updated behind the card here. We have a few things to roll first. There is a random pouch and also a pouch with 46 gold pieces. 19 gold pieces in. We'll turn those sideways for right now. I'll make some adjustments to my layout so that's easier. I didn't think about bigger numbers when I did it. Alright. Then we have our pouch table 3. To see that, we'll have to put the card away. But there's nothing else we need. We got the experience, we got the gold, and now we just get in the pouch. Let's see. We have 7. The pouch is full of coins. You find 3d6 plus 15 silver and 3d6 plus 15 gold. Let's get our silver pieces first. There's 19 silver. Brings us to 184. 23 gold pieces, which will bring us up to 1,024. And then we had our chest table 4 here. 8. A large bear skin is folded up inside the chest. It is worth 80 gold pieces and is a large item. There is also some dried meat here. Now we have 2 bear skins. Alright, all of that is done. Take care of that sheet later. We do have 2 metal doors. So let's check the one going towards the middle of the complex. See if it's a locked door or not. That is locked. Let's see how strong the lock is. Ooh, it's a 12. Alright, let's check. Let's use one of our lockpick plus 2s. That'll bring us to a +6 modifier. Alright, we unlock that. Open that door up and pass through. Initially, not much to see. There's a stone fall. This room appears empty, but as you step in, an alarm sounds and stones begin to fall from above. Roll a d6, add your shift points. On a 6 or below, you are slammed by a stone, lose 8 hit points. We have +4, 10. We dodge out of all those stones really quickly and jump back into the Pen Tamer's room here. Now, personally, I feel with the alarm sounding and stones falling, that's going to generate a lot of noise. And so I'm going to check for a patrol. Say the patrol slams through this door. That's a 4. We get a Mortley fly crashing through the door. Fun times. Yay. Hey, this big mortally fly creature we just fought in the last episode. Through the manipulation of primordial magic, the Mordial Axiom are able to breed these foul beasts from mutated maggots that they nurture in their morgue pits. They emerge as huge fly insects. Maneuvers, they have the mouth jab and red eye aura, with the mouth jab being blocked by our metal bracers, making that a 2d6 -1, and the red eye aura being blocked by our banded shield, making that a 2d6 -2, but the special attack makes it so our runes stop working for the remainder of the fight. For interrupts, they have a quick hover on primary 1s, 2s, and 6s will affect our ferocious strike and twisting stab. We'll start off by throwing our X +2 at it, just a single throw. About 4/4, so no deflection on that, making it 8 damage. Bringing it to 37 health. Stop around 1 our turn. Oh, and we're starting off with a 1/1. We can't shift out of the 1/1, so that's a miss for us. Mortally Fly's turn for round 1. Also a mishap with a 1/1. The Mortally Fly rises up, but its wings catch the ceiling and it flails, clattering to the floor, losing 2d6 hit points. 3 damage on him. Bring it to 34 health. Top of round 2, Archer. Now we have a 3/5 this time. We can take 3 shifts and change that 3 to a 6, and 1 shift left over to change that 5 to a 4, making a ferocious strike. 2d6 +6. 9 points of damage. I'll bring him down to 25 health. Mortally Fly's turn for round 2. We have a 2/3. 2 shifts, 2/3. We can take the 2 and change it to a mouth jab. 2d6 -1. 9 points of damage. Bringing us down to 48 health. And then we heal back 1. 49. Drop around 3 our turn. With a 4/6, we got 2 shifts up for a 4 to a 6 and 2 shifts down for a 6 to a 4. Grade A ferocious strike. 14 points of damage. That brings him down to 11 health. Mortally Fly's turn for round 3. Have a 1/2. 2 shifts, 1/2 is not going to be a maneuver. Top round 4 our turn. And we have a prime attack with a 6/6, meaning that we get to pick our maneuver, and that maneuver is not blocked by any interrupts. So we are going with ferocious strike, and we get to add all of our shifts, which is a +5. So we get a total of 2d6 +15, a total of 20 damage. That makes the fly dead. The fly does not have any treasure on it, but he does have 750 experience points for us, which will bring us up to 20,899. The fly is kind of blocking our doorway now, but we're gonna pass through the door that it just crashed open and see what's behind it. But before I find out what's behind this opening, I almost forgot to check my weapon through the +2, and we get it back. Alright, keep that on the screen forever. Felt like I was doing something wrong. Alright, let's get the next roommate. Over there, we enter into a cage trap. In the center of the room is a large cage attached to a rope. Inside are 3 barking warhounds. Roll a d6, add your precision, 6 or lower, and you trip a wire and the cage rises. You must fight. With the +4, we need to have a 2 or higher. Oh no, we want a 3 or higher, because a 2 would just give us a 6. That's what I get for not activating one of our potions. Okay, we got 3 warhounds. Let's see if we can wipe them out quick. A vicious dog trained to fight. Wears a spiked collar it uses in its charge attack. Has a bite and a spiked charge. The bite is a 6-2, which will be blocked by our divine breastplate, making that a d6 -5, so max of 1 point of damage, which we would heal back. And the spiked charge is a 4-3, and that will be blocked by our metal bracers, making that a d6 -4. So max of 2 points of damage, which we would heal back 1. And his interrupts are a raised legs, primary 5s and 6s, which will affect our lunging thrust and ferocious strike. There's 3 of them. On spike charge, they have a chance of causing 1 point of damage. Not quite completely wiping. So let's see how bad this goes. Top around 1 our turn, we'll start with the larger one and work our way around. Yeah, the dice said we're gonna kill it. So we get to start off with a prime attack, so we get to pick our maneuver, and it does not get affected by the interrupt. So of course we're gonna go with ferocious strike, which will be 2d6 +10 +4 for the shift. 22 points of damage. Yes, the first one's dead. Now, this has been a thing the whole time, but it's the first time I've actually accomplished it. We get fearful momentum. If you are fighting multiple creatures and kill a creature in the first round of combat, you gain momentum that strikes fear into your next opponent. For combat round 2 only, you gain +2 shift. As your sudden wild frenzy makes the surviving enemy cower or hesitate. Second warhound here for round 1. Now we got a 2-3, only 1 shift though, so we can't make that a spike charge. Last warhound for round 1, and that is a 6-2, which would be an exact bite, but as I said, that's only going to do a max of 1 point of damage. Is d6 -5, which then we would heal right back to where we're at, 49. Top round 2 our turn with 1 extra shift this time. We'll go with the next hound, and we have a 6-4, which is an exact ferocious strike, giving us 10 +10 +6 -2, so 24 points of damage. And that will kill the next hound. The last one left. Swings with a 4-4, and we can use that 1 shift to make that 4-3 to get a spike charge out of it. And that will cause 2 points of damage. It'll bring us to 47, but then our healing order brings us back to 48. Top round 3 our turn. With a 6-1 and 4 shifts, we can turn that 1 into a 4 for a ferocious strike. Be 2d6 +8. 14 points of damage. And the last hound goes down. Let's collect 3 spiked collars, and get 75 experience points. That'll bring us up to 20,974 experience. Not sure what spike collars will sell for, but we'll take them. Alright, this little room has 2 openings. Oh, it was supposed to be a random door. I didn't. Alright, we have portcullises for our random doors, and we need to find a lever to open them. That will look like this. We got 4. There is no lever here. You must wait for someone to come if you wish to proceed in this direction. So I guess we have to wait. So yeah, we'll wait for somebody to come through. I'll randomly determine what that is. The nice thing about waiting is every time you wait for somebody to open a door, you must use a ration, but you gain 2 hit points for adventurer level, unless you don't have rations, which we have plenty, and we could use the healing. Let's use a ration, take a little break, heal up to 66 health. We get to see which patrol comes. There's another myriad. Let's randomly determine which door he comes in, because I'm not sure which one I want to go through at the moment. Odd number will be the left door, and even number will be the right door. Use the left door. He creeps into the room, looks at all the dead warhounds, growls and attacks us. Like the assumed, the myriad exist on scraps and leftovers, but they have been touched by Meduva and now exist near to death, gifted tough skin and kept alive in a state of grim rapture by their deity. They have the Flaying Claw and Savage Bite with a 2/2. The Flaying Claws are not blocked by anything, and a 5/6 for the Savage Bite will be not blocked by anything until after our Shroud's Curse takes hold. For interrupts, they have leathery skin, primary 3s, 4s, 5s, and 6s, which will cover our lunging thrust and ferocious strike. Start with combat round 1, our turn. Start with a 2/6. 2/6, we can use 2 shifts to change that 6 to a 3 shifts. 3 shifts to turn that 6 into a 3 to create a twisting stab, which is not blocked by anything. 2d6 plus 7. 13 points of damage. Brings up to 15 health. Near its turn for round 1. We have a 1/5. 2 shifts. We cannot turn a 1/5 into anything with 2 shifts. Our turn for round 2. With a 5/4. That only takes 1 shift to make a ferocious strike, which will be 2d6 plus 7. 12 points of damage. That'll bring him down to 3 health. Myriad's turn for round 2. And they have a 3/2, and with just 1 shift, we can turn that 3 into a 2 to make for a Flaying Claws. D6 plus 5. 10 points of damage. Bring us to 56 health, and then our healing aura brings us up to 57. Top round 3, our turn. We have a 5/4. Again, 1 shift to create a ferocious strike. 17 points of damage. And that will kill him. He doesn't have any treasure, but he does have 300 experience points. That will bring us to 21,274 experience points. Step over the body and prepare to go through this opening they made for us. Step through that, call this archway. Whatever. We have a 6-block long corridor and 2 openings, but I didn't just automatically go to the next room like I have been doing with corridors, because I want to see if there's a 3rd opening. I want to see if we can go back to town. We need a 6, and we only have 1 shot. There is no 3rd opening. We shall continue on to the next room here. Through that archway into another corridor. This one also has a 2nd opening, but we'll continue straight. We enter into another holding pen. There is an iron barred pen here. Inside you see a large scuttle cow that is injured with -10 hit points. You can fight the beast to get a large chest at the back. If you survive, roll on the chest table number 4. I don't necessarily have to fight him. I can just leave him in the cage, continue on, not have a chest. But if we leave him here, we already seen the keeper pushing Scuttle Cow through portals, so if he's probably here just getting healed up before he gets sent back out. So let's take care of him. Scuttle Cows were found deep in the earth by the Terra Magnus. Through selective breeding and infernal rituals, they grow larger and are released upon the surface when numbers peak. They have sharp mandibles and many kicks. The sharp mandibles are a 2-3, which would be blocked by our metal bracers, making them a 2d6 + 1, and the many kicks is a 6-4, and that is blocked by our breastplate, making that a 2d6 -3. For interrupts, they have a scuttle barge on primary 3s and 5s, which will be our lunging thrust only, and they also have a hard carapace on secondary 4s, 5s, and 6s, which will be our ferocious strike only. Now, being that he is injured, he is going to start off with 40 health instead of 50. Top around 1 archer. Starting with a 5-3, which is an exact lunging thrust. D6 + 9 -3, 7 points damage. Brings him to 33 health. Scuttle Cow's turn for round 1. 1-5 with 2 shifts, and can't make anything with a 1-5. Drop around 2 archer. We got a 3-2, and that is easy to reverse into a 2-3 for a twisting stab. 6 + 7, 12 points of damage. I'll bring him 21 health. Go to a Cow's turn for round 2. And we have a 6-5. And 1 shift will take that 5 and turn it into a 4. Create a many kicks. 2d6 -3. 2 points of damage. Brings us to 55. But then we heal back to 56. Top round 3 archer. We got a 6-5, 1 shift to change that 5 into a 4 for a ferocious strike. 17 points of damage. Bring him to 4 health. Scuttle Cow's turn for round 3. Now we have a 5-4, and 1 shift will turn that 5 into a 6 for another many kicks. 8 points of damage. Bring us down to 48 health, and then we heal back 1, 49. Drop around 4 our turn, and we have a 4-2. 1 shift for the 2 into a 3, and 2 shifts for the 4 down to a 2. Create a twisting stab. 18 points of damage. That will finish off the Scuttle Cow. He doesn't have any treasure on him, but he does have 850 experience points. We'll get that chest here in just a moment. That brings us up to 22,124 experience points. And our chest table number 4 plus 1. We have 9. There are some wooden cups and a series of pouches containing 96 gold pieces. There is also a rune stone. Roll on rune 1. Let's get our 96 gold pieces first. That is a 4, in case you're wondering. Brings up to 1,059 gold pieces. And our rune, just a d6. That is a 5. We get Yip's Returning Rune brought back. We can apply that to a weapon, or we can sell it for 50 gold pieces. Right. We haven't gone that far yet. Been a lot of fights, but being that it's gonna be so long with 6 different fights in it, I think I'm gonna stop there and see where that episode ends at. And we have options. We got 3 doors. Well, we have a wooden door and 2 archways, and a portcullis heading off into the center area. We'll probably start working on that soon. Could also come up to the corner. We'll decide on our next episode. For now, thank you for staying till the end of the video. It's been fun. We will see you again next week. Until then, have a good night. Bye for now.